Hi, welcome back everyone. I'm Zen, and today we are looking at the solutions to the questions or tasks that I gave you in the previous video, which was, what was it called? I haven't uploaded it yet. The in the flow versus absolute positioning. And so there are two tasks. This one here on the right hand side with the three squares, and then after that we have the bigger issue, which is this one here. Okay, obviously we're going to do this in order, so let's just bring this one back up. I've already got Visual Studio Code open on my left hand side, so I've got this as my reference, and I'm going to name it as I believe I've said to do so in the previous video, which is absolute test -1.html. Okay. And as before, we're going to make a basic HTML5 page. Now we have three sections. Now, although they're called sections, I'm still going to do these as divs. So I'm just going to call it, well, we'll give them a class as section 1. I'm in the wrong place. Always be careful where your cursor is at. There we go. So let's do it as a class, and let's call it section 1, and then we'll repeat dot section 2, and then dot section 3. Could have used the full use of Emmet, but I didn't. I don't always have to. Okay, now what we're going to do is just put the information in this section so we know what we're looking at. X, those who are not sure, when we're dealing with absolute position, is to the left, and Y is from the top. So we've got, we're going to put in first of all the name, which is section 1, and then I'm going to tidy up a bit better than what we see there. So section 1 colon, BR is a break rule, or basically new line in HTML, so I'm going to use that, just make it look a bit nicer. So X 0, Y 0, BR, and then width is 100, and height is 100. Okay, and then we're going to basically repeat, and because they are roughly the same, I'm just going to copy and paste that into there, and obviously I'm going to change this to, let's put it in the right place, that might help, into section 2, and now it's 100 by 100 with our X and Y's, so 100 and 100, and instead of being width and height of 100, then now 300. And this bottom here, of course, it's section 3. The width and height are the same, but the X and Y are going to be at 400 each. Okay, would help if I knew what my numbers were. There we go. Now, just doing that on its own won't give us anything. It'll just be, in fact, why not? Let's just see what this one looks like. Okay, that's exactly what we get. All right, this is the the area for section 1, the area for section 2, the area for section 3. But of course, it goes right across, because remember these are divs, so they are block level elements. So now we need to do the CSS, which is the magic bit, to get what we want, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going into the title. Sorry, we're going to the head, just below the title, and we put in the style tag. And so we start off with the class section 1. Now the colors doesn't have to be the same, okay? Let's get that clear. The idea here is that you understand how to do the code, the positioning. You can use different colors and whatnot. It's just so you get the idea right. So don't worry about not having the same color here. So background color, again, I'm just going to use aqua, and then this is the important bit. We're going to use position absolute. We're going to do top with 0 pixels. We're going to do left with 0 pixels. Okay, And that's the first one. Now we can be lazy and copy and paste it, but I think because we're still at the beginning of your journey, perhaps we should actually just type it out again, all right? Because the more times we do this, the more natural, you know, and automated it becomes for you to do it correctly, and that's what we're really after here. So background color, and let's just let it swing down. Okay, let's go for gold. Why not? And again, we're going to go for position, with it being absolute, and look at the values here. So it is 100 and 100. I'll put 10 on that one. Let's just correct that. 100. Okay, so just an absolute, and then we're going to go top 100 pixels, and left 100 pixels, and then we've got to do its width, which is 300 pixels, and its height, which is also 300 pixels. Okay, and then we're going to repeat the same for the third one. So dot, because it's a class, section 3. I'm going to open it up, and again let's do background color, and let's go for aqua because it's the same more or less as the original one, and we're going to do position absolute, and we're going to go for top of 400 pixels and a left of 400 pixels, and then a width of 100 pixels, and of course a height of 100 pixels. We'll save that and we'll see it reflected, and we notice there's something wrong here, and we can see in my code I actually forgot to put in the width and height values. Okay, so let's just do that. As long as we can spell it. So width 100 pixels, and then the height is also 100 pixels. So again, save that, and there we have it. We have duplicated. Yeah, look at that. All we've done, different colours. In fact, we've got the same, more or less colours on the top. But there you go, perfect. Okay, absolutely spot on. So hopefully you got that one right. Now the next one, okay, which is this one here, and I'm going to zoom it out a bit so we can see all the information. Even though there's a lot more going on here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections, okay, 7 divs, the technique is absolutely the same, okay, there's no difference. And this is why you can, you know, even with just using position absolute, you can make some fairly complex layouts really, really quickly. Okay, so don't worry, you know, about designing fairly complicated pages, because they can be made fairly easily. It's just the same technique repeated over and again. If you look at a, you know, a knitted sweater, you know, that looks like it's really complicated how it's made, but you know, knitting is actually fairly straightforward. You just repeat it time and time again, and it's the same thing with coding. So we're now going to rebuild this particular one, and like we did in the first one, we are going to create our page first. So let's do that, and it's going to be called absolute test-2.html, and just like my future, it's blank. So let's put in HTML5 and fill it up. Now we're going to start to build it, and I always recommend that if you can, do the HTML first. Okay, get your HTML structure right, and then, you know, the CSS can follow. There is in fact a HTML element called header as well as footer, but we will carry on using divs for the moment, as I'll reserve explaining them better in the correct videos. So let's start off with class of a header, and again I'm in the wrong place. Control Z to undo that. Let's click back into body, And again now dot header. There we go. Let's fill that in. So again, header, BR for new line, X is 0, Y is 0, BR for new line, width is 1200, and height is 200. And we go to the end of that, and the next one is section 1, so dot section 1, and again we're going to type in the name, section 1, BR, the new line, and then X is 0, but Y is 200, width is 500, ooh, what have I done there? Ooh. Done something a bit weird. Let's just Control Z out. There we go. It's BR, new line. Width is 500 and height is 400. And then we go into section 3. And again, it might help if I can count. I'm pretty sure that's going to be section 2. Let's keep it real. So section 2, let's type that in. Again, new line, and then it starts off with an X of 500 and a Y of 200. A new line. The width is 500 and the height is also 400. I'll come out of there, and then we do section 3, so dot section 3, and then we type that in, section 3. Again, the X is 0, but the Y is 600. So BR. And then the width is 700 with a height of 300. Then we move into section 4. So dot section 4. And again we can type in its name, so section 4 there for BR. And X is 700. I know this is really exciting, but you know, if you don't understand this, this is why you need to do it. It's practice. Once you've done it enough times, it becomes second nature, and you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so width is 300 and the height is 300. Okay, and then we're going to go into our sidebar. So dot sidebar, and again we'll call it sidebar, and the X is 1000. The Y is 200. The width is 200. And the height is 700. And then zoom in, finally we have the footer. So dot footer. And footer. Yeah. And then X is 0. Y is 900, and then width is 1200 with the height of 100. And again, if we save that and then we view it, it won't look like anything. There we go. Wow, so unexciting. And so just like a lot of things, you know, CSS is the magic that makes it look pretty. So again, just underneath our title, we're going to put in the style tag for an internal style sheet, and we'll start off with the header. And we'll give it a background colour. I want to make it grey, so let's just type in. There you go, grey's there. And then we're going to say position absolute, and we know that it's going to be top is 0. And left is also 0, and then we're going to set its width to 1200 and the height to 200 pixels. Whoops. Height to 200 pixels. And if we save that, okay, we'll just close down these two because we don't need them more. Look at that. Looks fantastic. Okay. So after header, we'll do section 1. And we'll do background colour, we'll just say red. And let's say position absolute, that's very important. And then we're going to say top is 200. Left is 0. Width is 500. Got to start putting in W. Type in the actual name, width, there we go. 500 pixels, and height is 400 pixels. Again, quick save, quick check, perfect. Okay, next one, as we know, section 3. I've done that again, what is wrong with me? Section 2. And I'm going to use background colour. I'm just going to go for green. Position absolute. See, it's the same technique over and over. So I'm going to go top, which is 200 pixels. Yep. Left, which is 500 pixels. Width, which is 500 pixels, and the height of 400 pixels. Again, save, check, spot on. And then we're going to do section 3. Okay, and we're going to do background colour. I think that is cadet blue. And again, we go for position and absolute. And it is top at 600 pixels. Yep, that's what Y is, 600 pixels. Okay, so top 600 pixels. Left 0 pixels. And then we've got the width of 700 pixels. And the height of 300 pixels. Save that, and let's have a quick look. Yep, that looks roughly correct. Back over that. And then we're going to go on section 4. And we're going to use the background colour. Go for blue violet. And we're going to set the position to absolute because that's what we do. And then we're going to go for top is 600 pixels, not 6090 though. Left is 700 pixels. Width is 300 pixels. And the height is also 300 pixels. And again, we save that, have a quick check, boom, all good. Now we go to sidebar, and we're going to do background colour. I'm just going to go for blue. And then we're going to say position absolute, and then we're going to go for top, which is 200 pixels, and then left, which is 1000 pixels, and then we go for a height of 700 pixels, and the width of 200 pixels. And once again, we save and just double check it. Looks spot on. Finally, we have the footer. So, dot footer. And again, we're going to use background color. And we're going to use black, just like the color of my heart. And then we're going to use position absolute. And then we're going to go for top of, what is the top value? It's white, that's 900 pixels. And then left is 0. And then the width is 1200 pixels. And then the height is 100 pixels. Save that. And fantastic. Now, obviously in our original one the text is white and it is larger. Okay, now we can do that, and I would always do this at the top by putting that into the HTML of the body. Okay, so we can do font size, and for the moment I'm just going to put in 20 pixels, and color unfortunately is done the American way, and we'll just choose Alice, okay, Antique White instead. Okay, and there we go, just makes them more visible. And that's it. Those are the two solutions to the questions that we were given, or that I gave you. It doesn't matter how complex or how simple your layout is. Using absolute positioning, it's very easy to place the items where you want them to be. Like we said before, they're not the best for responsive design, and at the moment we haven't dealt with when we have an element inside an element, okay, even though technically these are all inside the body element. So the next video, which is coming up straight after this one, hopefully, is exactly that. It is what happens when we have elements inside elements, and how do we position them and stuff like that. So please watch that video. And for this one, as usual, please like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz, put comments in, tell me you're wonderful, tell me you hate me, just tell me why. Okay, talk to me, I'm lonely up here. And I'll see you next time. This is Zen, signing off.